We learned firsthand the evils of the white man. My mother had all of us children homeschooled by one of the elders straight from the school of knowledge. Slavery, our history, and our role as black people here in these United States were quickly brought to our attention. The night Malcolm X gave his speech at the Audubon Theater, I remember later on seeing my father weep for the first time, stating that we had lost a great man as we watched on the news of them speaking of the Honorable Malcolm X being slain by unknown gunmen. Some of the Muslim nations wept. I heard my parents in the quietness of their room. My father, being a trusted soldier of the minister and one of the men who followed the minister's causes of justice and peace, my father continued with the work of the minister. The injustices against black and brown was something that I often prayed for God to save us from. For mine was a mixed heritage, being of black and indigenous people. I felt the pain of many flowing through my veins. Several months after the minister was assassinated, one night my father came into my room. My mother had recently delivered twins, a boy named Amin and a girl named Amina. He sat down on my little bed in my room and told me how proud of me that he was and that of how much of a big help that I was helping my mommy around the house while she was recovering after delivering the babies, as well as helping my sister Amira. He looked at me and asked me did I understand how important it was for Muslims to be at peace with one another and on one accord, especially during this time. And I told him yes, because Islam meant peace, and that as Muslims we must live in harmony with one another as the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, did. My father laughed and hugged me and said, "Very good, darling. Now listen, my daughter, I have to go out tonight. This is a very special meeting. All the imams, important heads of all the mosques across the 5 boroughs of New York will be at this meeting to discuss peace amongst all Muslims. The time is now. Your Uncle Tabir will be going with me, so I need for you to be a big girl and help your mother with the smaller ones, okay, sweetheart? Do this for me, and I will have a surprise for you when I get back, okay? A surprise, Abi? May I stay up and wait for you, please?" He told me no, that it would be very late when he got back, but he would bring something back with him I would be sure to like. He got up off the bed and told me not to forget to help my mother with my siblings. He turned and looked at me as he got to the bedroom door and said, "Don't worry, Berry girl. Nothing will keep me from getting back to my family. You all are going to be okay." And he left the room. I never saw my father alive again. I remember being awakened by my sister Amira getting in bed. It was very late. She was crying. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me she had a bad dream about Abi and that bad men had got him. I held her tight and told her it was going to be okay. I said my prayers in my head for my father. Something did not seem right in the house. I looked at the alarm. It read 3 a.m. All of a sudden, Mommy began screaming, "No, Allah! Oh God, no." Chills ran through my body. I grabbed my sister's hand and got down quickly off the bed and went into the darkened hallway. I could hear my mother continue to scream and cry loudly, and crashing noises coming from her room. I ran towards her room and stood in the doorway with my little sister. My mother was standing in her nightgown. I looked quickly to my father's side of the bed, but it was empty. "Umi, Mommy, what's wrong? Please, what is it?" "Your Abi, your father is gone. Your father is gone," my mother wailed. I could hear the twins begin to cry in their room. I did not know what to do first. I remember my father's words to help my mother before he left. I took my sister's hand and I told my mother I would be right back, and I ran down the hall to the twins' room and turned on the light. Amin was standing up in the crib crying, reaching for me. Amira cried suddenly, "Look, there he is. There's Abi. He's right there. He's under the crib." I froze as chills swept over my body, and I remember my father saying that nothing would keep him from his family. I could see what Amira was seeing. All I saw was emptiness under the crib, but Amira insisted he was under there looking at us. Amin kept reaching for me through the crib bras, but by this time his twin, Amin, had set up and started crying beside him in the crib. I slowly walked towards the crib, and as I reached to pick up Amin from the crib, I felt like, honestly, to this day, I can't honestly explain what I felt like, that it just whooshed over my body. To this day, I still remember this. It just, like air, just whooshed over me, and then it was gone. Like,